Hey, what's up, everyone? Of course, once again, welcome to another episode of the Victorious Ones podcast, the place where gaming meets comics, meets sports, meets movies, as well as inspiration and even music as well. Of course, I'm your host, King Von Jr. Of course, you can follow me on social media on Twitter /X now at 301 King Von Jr. You can follow the show's Twitter page at Victory Pod One. I'm also on Instagram at Mr. King Von Jr. You can follow the show's Instagram page at Victorious Ones podcast. I'm also a social media producer for the unpopular review wrestling show Perfect Plex Talk Radio, and I am not alone. Wait a minute, let's see what I got here. Well, something, because got a little bit of royalty backstage. I'm gonna go ahead and bring him on. He is a member of friend of the program. Of course, by way of Fantasy Faction, by way of a Smarks Psychology podcast. I'm going to go ahead and introduce him, my man, King MacMilli.
What's going on, what it is. If I may do so, and I'll give my regular spiel like how I would do over on my thing, you know what I'm saying?
Go for it.
It is the value that allows you the opportunity to roll with me by way of one half of the WWE Tag Team Champions, the Street Profits, Montez Ford. It's the man right here, you know what I'm saying? By way of the WWE Hall of Famer, Ted DiBiase. Aha, the money is here, you know what I'm saying? And by way of the two-time Hall of Famer, can you dig it, Sucker King Booker? The king is here, King MacMilli. Yes, indeed, the man of everything that is Smart Psychology Podcast. Also, one half of your BWO Promo Division Tag Champions, you know what I'm saying? Having a legendary year in my first year, along with the rest of my podcast foes, is getting gravy. I'm in a tournament right now that's called the King of the Mic, and the winner gets not only to be recognized as a king, which I already am, but you get another heavyweight championship match. Well, I say another because I had one already. Soon they're going to understand everything that I've been doing. But, shout outs to the BWO Promo Division. If you think you can talk that shit, go ahead and look them up on Facebook and join the melee. Just be careful because you might run into me and the rest of my boys. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, what else do I got around here? I got this beautiful baby right here, which is our custom-made championship belt that I worked with I believe JB Toys to get this handcrafted and whatnot, custom-made. It's our Predictions Championship. You know what I'm saying? Like this joint is like 10 pounds, solid plated gold and everything. Man,
Good.
That's actually our champion is Nefarious from Venom and Smoke podcast. Shout outs to that pod and everything. You know what I'm saying? We a network. We gotta support each other. But yeah, it's my pleasure to finally be here with you, my brother. Talk some wrestling. What are your rules? I need to know your rules because I don't know how to behave sometimes, and I just say a lot of crazy things, all for the entertainment value. But yeah, I just want to make sure I stay within the lines of what you got going on, so you don't get demonetized.
Look, I got you. I'm not gonna be policing everybody. You know what I mean? Of course, like for one, I don't do a bunch of a bunch of BS hot takes just for the sake of trolling. I'm just going to throw it out like that. You know what I mean? I'm not, like how they are on Twitter. We ain't with that. So if you're going to use one of them
necessary,
exactly, exactly. If you're going to use them stupid talking points without anything valid, I ain't for it. So for one, let me go ahead and say this: certain wrestlers are on the no slander list. I'm just going to throw it out there. Bret Hart's one of them. Shawn Michaels is one of them. Let's just say Bianca's on that list. Roman as well. You know what I mean? It's a very short list, but it's certainly New Day. You know what I mean? So if you got something crazy to say about them, this ain't the place. I ain't got time for it.
Yeah, I might have a little bit longer of a list, just a little bit longer of a list. But,
what?
It's just certain people you just don't touch.
My list is like I said, is rather long. I just gave a sample size of those names. You know what I mean? China's one of them, of course, is on that list as well. You know what I mean? So if we're gonna do some type of, if we're gonna go that way, this ain't the game for you. This ain't the game for you, play. This ain't the game for you right here. We ain't doing that. That's royalty right there, man. So like I said, it was, pretty much, the ground rules all about, just at the end of the day, just being respectful. But at the same time, here's my thing. Before I bring anyone on, I like I said, I follow them. I have, like I said, pretty much, at least, have
In my
online
back, in my back.
interactions and stuff like that with them. And so I could, at the end of the day, I could scope, what somebody is about before I even invite them. You know what I mean? So it's just like it's definitely one of those things. So at the same time, like anybody who I bring on, they're very much respectful of who I am and what I'm about and everything like that. So you know what I mean. So like I said, if I know somebody's gonna be a violator, I wouldn't even give them a second look. But yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah,
Like
they
other
get
than
checked
that,
at the door.
absolutely, checked at the door immediately. That's why, like I said, that's why I'm very mindful of who I reach out to. I check them at the door before before anything else. So yeah, you know what I mean. Pretty much that's really what it is. That's really what it is. Yeah. So of course, like I said, but we're definitely networked with each other by way of, especially when it comes to like fancy faction podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
I've had Luke on here before. I've been on his show, multiple times before. You know what I mean. So as far as I've been a champion on in the tournament before. You know what I mean. So
Yeah, we got to lock in over there. You know what I'm saying? We in the championship taking moves. You know what I'm saying? We going
man,
around
you better
different
believe
places and
it.
just snatching
Shoot,
up what's theirs.
come on now,
Right
come
on.
on
So
now.
I've been meaning to tap in and get some fantasy factions in because I do a little fantasy here and there, but not where I really need to be. I think I tried to start it a little bit, but I just wasn't consistent with the energy. But when I do, let me tell you, you better watch out, and the rest of y'all too. I'm no slouch in these predictions and figuring shit. As you can see, smart psychology. It is a reason behind that name. You know what I'm saying? We get the psychology of everything, the
Mhm.
inside, the outside, the crowd side. You know what I'm saying? The dirt sheet side, however, whatever side you want to think about it, we could comprehend it and break it down for anybody to comprehend. And if you don't comprehend, then you're just on some mark energy, some
Absolutely, and
smarky mark energy.
there you go.
Yeah.
Plain and simple. You know what I mean? It's a thinking man's game. You know what I mean? Just just like boxing, just like football. In certain things are just X and O's. A thinking man's sport. You know what I mean? So
Man.
that's what that's the type of time I'm on. Thinking man's type of platform, man. You know what I mean? So if you don't have enough, if you don't have any substance behind, the statements that you make, you get checked at the door, plain and simple. You know what I mean? So I take it that that the title is about psychology, and so I take it that
Mm-hmm.
you are a fan of if what. First off, let's go and talk about like what one of the things, like who got you into wrestling, like which wrestler, whatever the
Oh
case.
man, what?
Let's go
That
for it.
that story is grand, man. Taking me back all the way to shout outs to the cover of my latest album from April '86. But that's me on the cover as a little kid dressed up as Hawk or Animal, whoever they had me my
Ah,
face painted on with a championship belt on. I had a Mr. Wrestling T-shirt on. I'm
my
probably
man.
like three or two or something like that, four in that picture or whatever. Like I'm a kid. Like I like to say that I'm a third generation wrestling fan because my uncle became a fan and then he made his mama a fan and then I became a fan after that. So it's
Mhm.
kind of like a jumpy backwards, but it's still three generations. Like, bro, I always say that wrestling is one of my best friends. You know what I'm saying? I was in a playpen watching wrestling on Saturdays. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Saturday morning WWE or whatever that the joint was called. Superstars. There you go. WWE
Okay.
Superstars on Channel 11. You know what I'm saying? I'm a 80s baby, but I was raised through the 90s. So, and then I go back a little bit more because of the generational thing. So, it's always been there. You know what I'm saying? I never knew nothing different. Even when I wasn't watching it, I was always connected to it. And now I get to do something at this grown ass age that I am that helps the community, and it goes towards what I love to do. And I should have been doing it my whole damn life, but it's good that I'm here now because I can spread my psychology and make it entertaining enough for people to be able to swallow it. But yeah,
See what you did
yeah,
there.
man, it's been forever. I love wrestling, man. It ain't nothing like it. It ain't nothing like a heel. The heel is what makes wrestling go on forever and forever, forever. It's easy to like somebody, and I don't think it's much talent in trying to make somebody like you. But to get somebody to fucking hate you, like, oh man, it's the greatest thing. It's the greatest thing. Hate me. I'm gonna work hard to get you to hate me. That's respect right there.
Man,
That's genuine respect. So heels all day. Heels all day. I'll be screaming, turn them heel. in a minute. Turn him heel, give him a push.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's my way to fix everything. Turn him heel.
So I take it that you must have been a fan of Cena, Cena's heel turn lately, as
man, I love it because I hated him so much. I hated him so much, and like he despised me. He made me sick, and I was mad that his movies were good. Like I didn't like it. I don't like nothing about it. It was like a Kevin Hart type hate or something or whatever. Like the way that I was just like, just no. Like, because he broke my heart the moment that I'll never forget it. And I'm glad I didn't go to that WrestleMania because it was out here, WrestleMania 21 at the Staples Center, the then known Staples Center, when he finally won the WWE Championship from JBL and had that whole Hollywood, I'm a good guy now. No, that was, yeah. That was 21. I'm a good guy now. And blah, blah, blah. He wasn't chain gang no more. He was still wearing jerseys, but he was changing. He was changing. Then he stopped wearing jerseys, and then I just didn't know the man no more. So I hated him for a very long time. I didn't care. I loved it when he got beat up. Like, it was always wonderful. But now, oh, God, I love it. Yeah, he's the best. I'm so glad that he follows us on Twitter. All right, John. Way to go, John. That's right. I'm on your side. Yeah.
You got the Cena follow, too?
It's lovely.
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah. Chain gang.
That's right. That's right.
Y'all can't see us.
Silver Prover, baby. Silver. That's right. You can't say nothing. You can't say nothing out here. Unseen 17 out here. But yeah,
man, say something, man. You are true. That's what we're gonna do.
Come on now. Yeah, because as a matter of fact, I remember WrestleMania 21. That was WrestleMania Goes Hollywood. And so that was the night.
Yeah.
That was the night he beat JBL, and he was still wearing the chains. He was still wearing the number 54 jersey up all through 2006 up until about late 2007 or early 2008 or so. And like first he used to have the camouflage. Yeah, he used to have the camouflage jersey. Because I remember I used to play SmackDown vs. Raw 2007 and stuff. And he's
2008.
2007, yeah. And he had the green camouflage shorts on one of them or whatever. And so I was like, that I used to pick that version of Cena.
With the army jersey.
Army jersey. Yeah. Army jersey Cena. That's the scene I recognize right there. That's the one I acknowledge. Yeah, the one that was a few.
Yes, I'm glad that he is back. I'm glad we was able to be there to see that match. You know what I'm saying? Like that was just a joy to take in. It was such. I've never been more happier. Like, it was a different type of feeling. I was like, oh, this is great. It's great. 17. Man. Who would have thought?
Who would have thought? Who would have thought? Like my man Paul Rudd.
He turned here to do it.
Like my man said on Hot Ones. Who would have thought? Not us. Who would have thought? Not us.
But I've been waiting for it. I've been crying for it for a very long time and saying how much I hated him until I got it. When I saw that match at a Firefly Funhouse match, oh man, that was the greatest thing that WrestleMania ever produced. I was in love, and the best part about it was John Cena in the NWO show. I said, "Oh my God, we can do this. We can do this."
Oh my gosh!
Like, let's get it done.
And then not only that, but they even put, like, I like how in 2K24 they brought back the WrestleMania showcase and how they had the 40 years of WrestleMania. It included that match, and they had that version of Cena on the game. I say yeah. Like, honestly, for me, I'm gonna ask you what your favorite WWE 2K games are. But for me, I used to say 2K14 for the longest time. But I think at this point, because I think because I'm a big WrestleMania guy. I'm a big WrestleMania guy.
Yeah, but ew.
I mean, well, actually, no, because like after that. Like after time passed, eventually got to like 2K23, and then like with 2K24 now with the 40 years of WrestleMania, because they added certain matches like Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels, Kurt Angle versus Shawn Michaels, stuff like that, Roman and Cody, Charlotte and Rhea, those type of matches. I think that's what to me ultimately gave that game the edge. And so to see for them to put that Firefly Funhouse match in there, I was like, all right, now we talking. Now we talking. You know what I mean? Like, of course, I mean, Cena was, did his best to, kind of put up a fight a little bit, but I guess, a little bit of a signal issue, whatever. But yeah, like, of course, gonna be coming back shortly. But yeah, of course, I don't know, a little technical difficulties right now. But yeah, so all right, sorry about that. But yeah, like I said, as far as that, so right now, of course, my guest is, I guess dealing with some technical difficulties right now, at the moment. But yeah, like I said, as far as that, I'm going to send this link back to him. Let me see if I can. Oh, all right then. He's back on. All right. So I don't know what happened earlier, but issue should be getting resolved shortly. Hey, all right then. All right.
Man,
So
I'm over here getting jumped backstage, man.
oh
I'm over here
man,
getting busted back in here. Man,
go
I
ahead.
had to defend myself real quick.
Yes.
It was like a whole crew of them. You know what I'm saying? They
Oh
was
man,
trying to get me.
my man was fighting for his life backstage. Yeah,
Man, they was trying to take me out, but yeah, no success. No success.
not at all. No success at all. That's what I'm talking about, man. You know what I mean? It's like JBL must have
Yeah,
been
it's no,
back
you're
there,
never gonna get that.
or Orton or something.
The only way you get success is if you're on the same side. You know what I'm saying? Same team. That's how you
exactly.
get it.
That's what we want.
Otherwise, you ain't for a loss.
There you go. That's the message right there in and of itself. But yeah, of course, like as far as like I said, when it comes to 2K24, I think because of the quality of matches that they had on the showcase compared to 14, I think that's what gave it the edge.
Mm-hmm.
Because the thing is, they trimmed. I don't want to go off on a 2K tangent right now, but here's the thing.
I mean, the series is worth it. Certain of them.
Yeah, yes, certain of them. Of course, like in 2K14, they included every WrestleMania from 1 through 29 going into 30. The good, bad, the ugly, they had everything in there. But with this one, of course, they definitely trimmed some unnecessary fat. I'm glad they got rid of the WrestleMania 7 HH versus Slaughter match for one. That got rid of WrestleMania 9. Yeah, I was like,
come
yeah.
on, you can't get rid of the old stuff, man. I value that stuff. That's good stuff for different reasons. Like that's why I was gonna say, like every 2K game is good to a certain extent. But what makes it consistently great is that you'll always not have the very same roster year to year.
Yeah.
There's always like 15 to 20 people that's brand new on that game that's never been on the game. And you get different mixes and cycles of that as the new people become the old people and the other people get factored out. Like the roster is always great. And then you go on to the community center and you download everybody that you find that you like well enough that looks like the as close to the model as it could be. And then you add them to the game and it's like it's playable factor forever because you get to have dream match heaven almost anytime, all the time or whatever. But like the 2Ks, I don't here's the thing, and this might be a hot take and not for the sake of it, but a lot of people shit on WWE 2K 2020. A lot of people do it. I don't think it was that bad. I don't think it was that bad. Like it didn't do all of the cyborg stuff that it was doing for everybody else as far as like glitching and skipping and all that other stuff, whatever. I don't know, I guess because I didn't really play that much online at that point because I knew everybody didn't want to smoke. But yeah, it didn't do all that stuff for me. It didn't do all that.
Glitching right now. Yeah, so I don't know what's with the issues right now. But yeah, for one, I know that my 2K, like, all right, cool. Man.
Yeah, 2K was mad. 2K was trying to get me now too. Damn it. I can't say nothing. All right, 2K. All right. This SmackDown versus Raw 2008, goated. Here Comes the Pain, goated.
Yes.
Shut Your Mouth, goated. Royal Rumble on Sega Genesis, goated. Raw on Sega Genesis, goated. WrestleMania 2000 on Nintendo 64, goated.
No Mercy.
No Mercy on 64, goated. Let's see. What else we got?
Yeah, reckoning.
Oh, I'm sorry, but WCW Nitro goated
Yeah.
on PlayStation 1.
Mm-hmm.
Surprisingly, Thunder as well, just because of the characters that they had on there.
Oh man.
Oh man, can't leave out Warzone. Oh damn, mommy. It was great,
That's attitude. Yeah.
great, all that. Yeah. I had to there. Like that's embedded. That's embedded in my mind.
Oh my God.
But it's just been so many WWE games. But like currently where they are right now is just amazing to see. If you've been playing that long to where you had 3 buttons to play the whole damn game with a directional pad, and you still can't beat levels. You know what I'm saying? You know how frustrated you get playing PlayStation right now, and then going back to play Nintendo and still not win around. Like that turn you to a madman.
Gosh. Shoot, man. Look,
Right.
I go back even when it comes to Raw on Sega Genesis, because like that was one of my introductions to like Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, this version of Shawn Michaels, of course, Undertaker with the great glove, Razor, Diesel, Owen was nice on there, 1 2 3 Kid.
1 2 3 Kid, yeah, Yokozuna.
Exactly. Yeah,
Boink, Luna Vachon, Bam Bam Bigelow.
They had a roster.
I had that joint.
Man,
I had that joint. That joint was fire.
Oh, it was WrestleMania the arcade. Man, shoot.
Yeah. I forgot about that one. Slap a ham out of Yokozuna. What you talking about? slap gold chains out of Razor Ramon. Yeah, all that. Yeah. I used to play that at the actual arcade too. I had the game at home, but I used to go to the arcade and play because it's just no greater feeling than being in the arcade, smashing the computer while everybody's standing around you watching and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Like, man. Hey, ooh, that was it. That was the game right there. Yeah. This game this year, it's amazing. It's amazing. Just like I said, from the roster alone. The roster alone makes this game dope. And that you got the island joint, which I've dabbled in a little bit, but I'm not really focused on it because I really love doing GM mode and then creating certain people until I don't feel like it no more. Then I go download or whatever. But it's a great game. The aesthetics from where they came from to where they are now, and just the production. I just wish that they would let us upload our own music for once, like they used to back in the day. Give us that capability. And that would make the game amazing because then they could come out to whatever music we want to. But it's all good. I ain't gonna too loud about that. They be watching and stuff. Hey, it's going.
Exactly. Hey,
give it back.
What's up, 2K? What's up, WWE? We know you watch. But yeah, and the thing is, because like I said, WrestleMania the arcade was goated. My big 3 was like Undertaker, Bret Hart, and Shawn Michaels. You know what I mean? And you had In Your House, which is pretty much the same thing, just with a different roster.
Yeah.
But WrestleMania the arcade was better than In Your House, without question.
Oh yeah, no question.
Without
I mean, how could I? I'm sorry. I got to go back. WrestleMania on Nintendo, Super Nintendo. Goated.
Yes.
I'm sorry. That was the second game. That was the second wrestling game I ever played. The first one was on Atari, and I don't even remember the name of that joint. So there you have that. But yeah, WrestleMania on Nintendo, man. You got Andre the Giant. Pixels. You know what I'm saying? Redacted, the red and yellow redacted one. Yeah, Macho Man. Who else was on that joint? You had King Kong Bundy. I think. Who else is on there? Greg the Hammer, Valentine, Ted DiBiase.
Oh man,
it wasn't that large of a roster, but it was a good game, man. It was a good game.
The who's who.
It was a good game, yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. And then you had, of course, WrestleFest with red and yellow redacted on there. You had redacted Warrior as well. And of course,
why is Warrior redacted?
we got look, man. We have reasons why. Like there's the receipts speak. You can watch Dark Side of the Ring.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You listen to different.
There's some questionable things there.
Yeah, exactly. You listen to certain common. If there's a common, I'm going to go off on a tangent. Here's the thing: if there's a common thread, if there's a common, thread of stories about somebody, the consistent thread of stories, then it lets you know, he did it.
So it might be something that's real that's over there, just a little bit.
Yeah.
Might be some truth to a little bit of that. I don't know what. I ain't really trying to find out that bad, but if I hear certain things a few more times, then I'm gonna start believing that. Maybe it's just a big rumor. I like to take a lot of stuff with a grain of salt. I'm like, you never really know what you know or what you hear or whatever until you get it from the source. So I try to like, I listen to it, but I try to not have too much of opinion on it. Like, how do you really know? Were you there?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
you just got this from somewhere and you're expanding upon it,
Right. Yeah.
pushing your psychology of this is what it is when it's
Ah.
not really actually what it is because you don't. Let me stop.
I know, right?
I'm flowing. I'm a fountain right now, so it just comes at will.
There you go. I could definitely tell right now. Red cups up to the king of the smart club.
Oh man,
Yeah.
I ain't got a real red cup, but I got this chain right here. You know what I'm saying? The Street Profit chain.
There you go.
Red cups up, yes sir.
That's what I'm talking about, baby. That's what I'm talking about.
I might hang it on this microphone right here. You know what I'm saying? Because it's new. I gotta decorate it. See some.
That's what I'm talking about. Speaking of chains, I got
figure it out. We gonna
a WWE title chain myself that that wear on wear on the weekends and stuff. You know what I mean? And the funny thing is these chains actually gives me compliments with these, if not more than when I just get just many compliments with these as if I'm carrying a belt. You know what I mean? So like because there's a conversation started by itself anyway. But
oh yeah. It's usually any type of belt like this, as long as it's like one that you don't see often. Like when I first got the $1 Million Championship, I used to get like stopped at every event, like, oh my God, he's got one. But then I would see like every other event, I would see one person that would have one too, but then they show me the back of it, and I'd be like, ooh, they got his sign. It's better than mine. Until like 2 years ago, I got mine signed. So I was like, y'all can't do that to me no more. I get to do it to everybody else. Yeah, let me see the back.
Exactly.
Yeah, they be like, oh. And I know mine, he got his didn't have the Hall of Fame, the little Hall of Fame signature to it. Mine got it. So I was just like, yeah, son, stun on me. I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna find it, I'm gonna make it happen. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy though. It's crazy.
It is.
But they're like always talking pieces like this one, people, because it's different. They never seen it before. This one is different. They're like, wow, like, oh my God, it's heavy, like wham, yada yada. And it's like it's talking points, and then it's like, oh, what do you guys do? And it's like, all right, great, fantastic. We've gotten to the point of the conversation. Like, not that it's not great to get to know each other, but when you're at wrestling events and you're trying to push the brand, you want to crack that first barrier and get straight to it kind of in the most comfortable way possible, because there's so many people that you want to reach, but in between matches and before the match starts and things like that or whatever, unless you like just get to a certain point where you're just like, I'm just going to walk around the stadium and not really focus on the event that's happening, and I'll just connect with people or whatever. But then like how I ran into you at WrestleMania, there's times that you stop and you're like, oh man, I'm invested into the match right now because it's really happening. You know what I'm saying? And you get that I understand the psychology because you were standing right there when we were watching that main event with the triple threat.
Oh man,
and I was just like, oh my God, CM Punk, you got to get out of the ring. Roman, you got to get out of the ring. I'm yelling this stuff long before Paul ever did anything to the both of them. Because when you're at the event, you can see the match breaking down so much better, so much clearer or whatever, that you could just call a spot a mile ahead of time or whatever if you're really paying attention. So it's just, I was over there screaming, and the people like, oh my God, like, how did you predict that? It's like, I didn't predict it. I'm watching. I understand the psychology of what's about to happen. Like, I feel it. Like, it's being, if you follow the story and everything, I was just like, all right, you guys. All right. There's really some of us out there that just don't get it. They be done. I don't understand.
Yeah, the light bulb.
I don't understand.
But I don't get it either, because I asked myself that question.
Trying to save them.
Exactly. Yeah, trying to save them.
Trying to save them.
But they don't what do they say? They don't want to be saved, right? You know what I mean? So
they don't.
They really don't. They really don't. So like, and the thing is, especially when it comes to, I want to talk about the WrestleMania experience as well, because because it's just like, as far as I'm concerned, Backlash just took a back seat for me, because I went to, because this past weekend I went to see the movie Sinners, and so but of course, but like I caught Backlash like the next day. So, but of course, I'm gonna get to the Cena Orton thing in a minute. But as far as like I'm still very much on the WrestleMania high. You know what I mean? Because especially because it was in Las Vegas. Cena's last WrestleMania is very historic. CM Punk's first main event, WrestleMania main event ever of his career. Can you believe that? You know what I mean? So as far as that, all that stuff happened, and then with the way that match carried night one, and then you look at the night two, the triple threat carried that one as well. So it's like a parallel. But the thing is, when we talk about psychology, it's like certain Easter eggs that people really have to pay attention to and really see. For instance,
and there always is. There always is.
Always are. And so, and like, and the thing always is. And so, like, shout out to Public Enemies, of course, because they always make memes about it, everything, right? And so, so they made a meme about, about Heyman coming out with Punk. And if you notice, especially with the way that, that Heyman gave Punk that kiss on the forehead. And so, of course, and it just so happened that he did that, the day right before Easter. And so, so I was like, all right, this is the kiss of betrayal. You know what I mean? Kind of like a Judas type, type of thing. That's sign of so. What up? Yeah, absolutely. You better believe it.
I never trusted it from the moment that he came back after getting put through that table. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I was like, oh man, don't trust Paul. Don't trust
exactly.
Paul. Because Roman, you was out there being Roman, so this is about to be your fault, but still don't trust him.
Yeah, absolutely not. And so, like I said,
he didn't did it too long. I've been watching Paul Heyman since he had an E, and his last name was different, with a big ass telephone in his hand, with more hair on his head, with a ponytail that was longer than it is right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, since before he was doing ECW.
Absolutely.
Since before he was doing ECW. You know what I'm saying? So like, don't play. That man is greatness. That man is greatness. He has done well for the wrestling business for generations and then some. Like, oh man, I would love to meet that man. Just to shake his hand and be in his aura and be in his presence and say, thank you, sir. Thank you. Continuously. Because I know you still putting in work. Thank you for being you in this business. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
Shout out to Paul Heyman, man.
Shout out to Heyman. Shout out to the GOAT of managers. I will say that. You know what I mean? With
I'll do it.
Yeah, I would too. You know what I mean? Because
it's worth it.
It's very much worth it. And so, and the thing is, I stand 10 toes down when it comes to talk about Paul Heyman being the GOAT of managers. I stand 10 toes all the way down.
All the way down.
People want to bring up Heyman. Heyman got him beat. Bring up Jimmy Hart. Heyman got him beat. Paul Bearer. Heyman got him beat. You name
Bobby the Brain Heenan.
Come on now. You know what I mean? Paul Ellering. Shoot, what was it? JJ Dillon? Whoever it is, you name it. Paul Heyman got a case on
the Grand Wizard.
Grand
you know
Wizard.
What I'm saying? Name anybody.
Captain Lou.
You go any generation. Blue Albano, name them all. Who else you got? You know what I'm saying?
Come on,
better than all of them.
Heyman got got all their heads. You know what I mean? Heyman got a case on against all of them. You know what I mean?
There's not one that he ain't better than. We're not even gonna play that game.
Not one. Heyman's the one. Not
and there were some that were in discussion 10 years ago, maybe 15.
Yeah.
Not no more.
Not no more. You know what I mean?
Not no more.
Not no more. As you know, as Scissor said to Kiki, you're the one, not the two. The one, not the two.
Yeah.
Heyman's the one, not the two. Straight up. I mean, let's call it what it is. Let's call a spade a spade. You know what I mean? So like I said, there are those who were the GOAT at one point, but Heyman has done so much to supersede that you can't make an argument. Because last time I checked, how many of those managers you can't save some people's psychology. Yeah, hold up. That's right. You can't. You really can't.
Too many.
And I'm gonna say this though. When's the last time anybody else had managed somebody for a reign of 1,316 days and carried the company?
Talk about it.
At that. You know what I mean?
Talk about it.
And the thing is, Roman didn't have to have 2,000 days, like Bruno Backlund. But what he did in terms of this era moved numbers. You know what I mean? This dude moved the needle in more ways than one. All under Paul Heyman's watch. Brock Lesnar was a multi-time WWE champion. Ended the streak.
Talk about it. Talk about it.
Brock Lesnar was
talk about it, and had himself a couple of long reigns.
Come on now,
you know what I'm saying?
Legendary reigns. You know what I mean? So he had lengthy reigns. On the cover of Here Comes the Pain, came back, broke the streak. You name all this type of stuff.
Man,
watch
everything.
CM Punk had the greatest WWE championship run of his career. 434 days.
Talk about it.
You know what I mean? So it's all right. I had a feeling. Paul had a jet. Of course, come on now. Like it was all there. From the time he came out with CM Punk, like I said, gave my man the kiss of betrayal on the forehead, asked him what time it was. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm like, oh no.
Heyman was being, the Morris Day to Punk's Prince. You know what I mean? That type of thing. Like, what time is it, baby? What time is it? So you knew it was going to happen. You knew it was coming. You knew it was coming.
It was coming down.
Oh yeah.
It was going down.
And here's the thing: Seth had never been managed by Heyman. Meanwhile, Heyman already made his mark with Punk. Excuse me, with Punk and Reigns. He already made his mark with them. So it's like process of elimination. So who else was going to be next?
Man, what would be dope? What's going to be new? What's going to be next level? Something that we ain't going to get bored of and we want to be interested and see more of.
Come on now.
Seth will meet him. What would the dynamic be? It wouldn't have to be his mic piece. Oh, that gives Paul Heyman more space to be a little bit sinister with everything that he does. And now he has a young monster, a young goat of a monster that he can just sick on anybody at Seth Rollins' beg and plead. He has somebody to do as much. And man, like Jesus Christ, and they're not finished. I know they're not finished. I already said it earlier. I was like, this is the new age dangerous alliance. This is what this is about to be, and it's about to be better than the first edition because no disrespect to Bobby Eaton and Larry Sabisco, you know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? The other members barely carried heat at the time that they did. I mean, Arn Anderson, you know what I'm saying, was almost done for this thing. You know what I'm saying? You had a stunning Steve Austin, Stone Cold with hair. And then who else you had in that thing? You had somebody else that I liked. That was it.
Ravishing Rick.
Yeah, Ravishing Rick Rude or whatever. And he wasn't that great over in WCW, but it was what it was. You were always a fan of him. So it's like now in this day and age, you got CM Punk and Braun Breaker, and that's already 75% better than the whole faction that you had at the time, the first time around. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And you're wiser. Come on, now stop playing games. And I like to be like the type of fan that stays off the dirt sheets and like actually have the opportunity to sit there and watch it because I look at multiple different things on the screen. I'm watching the movement of the story of the referee, the story of the match, the announcing that's going on, what story they trying to tell, what story do I see happening, what I think is about to happen. Like you get lost in the story, you pay attention to things in the background, you know what I'm saying, that tell a story that you may have missed and is previewing something or you know what I'm saying? It's so much. You just got to get lost into it as a fan. There's so many different levels of psychology to it, and you got to understand all of it, different styles of wrestling. You know what I'm saying? You got to know what you got to know what's big. It's a lot, man. But I wouldn't have nothing else. I wouldn't have nothing else, man. It's wrestling. It's greatness, man. It's greatness.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, wrestling is what Undertaker says it's entertainment mixed with athleticism. It's entertainment mixed with you know what I mean? So that's if you had to explain to somebody that way, that's how I explain it. And the thing is, it's just like the way we have similar psychology when it comes to wrestling, when it comes to the storytelling in the feud, when it comes to storytelling in the segments, when it comes to storytelling in the matches and the match in and of itself. Like there's certain spots that you just know are about to happen, certain elements you see taking place, and then you look at the upside of, let's say, you look at the upside of this new faction that Heyman has with Seth versus the Dangerous Alliance. You know what I mean? Like you look at, I would say that this faction already is going to be, if not more decorated, especially because on Seth's end, and also Heyman.
Oh yeah.
far more established as a manager than he ever was. And Arn Anderson's best years were with the Horsemen. You know what I mean? And so
Yeah.
yeah, you know what I mean.
And he was still number 2.
Yeah, even Dangerous Lines, he was still number 2.
A far number 2.
Far number 2. But and the funny thing is,
number 2.
Here's the funny thing about it. Every time Arn is in a faction, he's number 2 to somebody named Rick. The Horseman.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
And then in the Dangerous Alliance, Rick Rude. You know what I mean? And so
don't do that.
I mean, he was though. He was. I mean,
he got one of the goatiest themes of all time.
Straight up. You know, and the thing is, Arn had the GOAT spine buster. I will say that.
Yeah, that too. That mug looked like it hurt every damn time.
Oh my gosh! I remember when he snuck up on Undertaker and him with that spine buster at WrestleMania 18. Oh my goodness!
Oh, it was so good because at that point you think you'll never see one ever again. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And to see one with the shape that he was in, like the dedication, man, Jesus Christ, and to hit it the way that he hit it, still like it's like Arn. Nobody will ever have a spine breaker better than you. You've been doing it for ages. You got that master. That is it. That is yours.
And also with the way he does it, with the way he picks up his opponent, and a certain twist, a certain tilt that he does. Like that's what I'm saying. Like that's how you do it. Batista is all right, but Arn Anderson is in leagues above when it comes to that spine buster. And the thing is,
like you get a whole body whip with it. Like he all right, I got you. Let's go. Bah! You ain't got time to brace yourself to take the impact of it, because you still twisting low key. So as soon as you straighten out, you already hitting pavement. Wow.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And of all people to drop Taker like that was him. And the crazy thing is that 5 years earlier, Arn had announced his retirement. You know, he had a farewell with the Horsemen. You know, crying and everything. Talking about how he couldn't move his arm. You know, like when he was like that story when he was at the gym lifting weights, and so all of a sudden somebody pat him on the back, and all of a sudden he dropped his water bottle or something like that, whatever it was, and he was like, couldn't really lost the feeling, as far as his nerves. And so I was thinking, you know what I mean, like, this dude ain't going, is done. So I used to think, for real, I ain't gonna lie, I used to think that Arn was older than Flair before I knew any better.
Man,
like,
for real.
Yeah.
I didn't know no better when I was younger. I'm like, dude, you look like you for sure like in your 50s. That man was 30. That man was 30.
he barely hit 40 when he retired.
I was like, ooh.
That's what I'm saying. Man,
he was already looking like grandpa to me.
That's what I'm saying. And especially when we brought Flair back, when they reunited the Horsemen, and he gave that speech, had the glasses. He was like, there's one thing I forgot. He started hitting his head. He was like, man, they accused him of having a touch of Alzheimer's or whatever. He said, oh yeah, I forgot. I was like, I thought this dude was like much older. And so, funny thing is, I'm one of those people who follows, people's birthdays and stuff, right? So I'm doing a little search. Look up Arn Anderson. And I look up his date of birth. I said, he's younger than Bret Hart.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. That can't be. I'm not about to believe that.
Oh, dude, look that up. Seriously. And so
that's crazy. That is crazy work.
Because it's nasty work, man. Because like I looked up Bret's date of birth, like when I was a kid. It said July 2nd, 1957. All right. Dude's 4 years younger than my dad. All right, whatever. But the thing, all right, cool. All right, whatever. And so then I looked up Arn Anderson's date of birth. It's like 1958 September. I said, wait a minute. I said, nah. I said, nah.
I ain't taking that. I ain't taking that sitting down. I ain't taking that standing up neither. I ain't taking that at all.
Not at all. Not. If I told you how many, if I told you the people that are older than him, you would, man, you probably fall out that chair.
I don't even think I want to know. It's just gonna make me mad. Like that's crazy. That's crazy. Arn Anderson over here, 28 years old, looking 57. Stop doing it to me, man. Stop it. It's terrible.
DDP's older than him. Anyway.
Jesus Christ, no.
That's just one. I ain't gonna give it.
No.
I ain't gonna give it the rest of the list right now. But yeah, but like I said, the thing is, he was definitely at the end of the day, he was still their enforcer. But yeah, like I said, just in
Yeah.
terms, you know what I mean. So he was definitely their enforcer.
Glock
So,
Anderson. I'm sorry, Glock. I'm sorry.
Glock.
Now that I think about it, I'm sorry, bro.
Bro,
Please.
that's what I'm saying. Like,
I'm sorry. I don't want to smoke. I'm cool.
That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean?
My
Like,
fault. I am unprepared. I'm unprepared at this very moment. Please.
Glock 9mm.
Whatever you want to do.
R9mm.
Whatever you want to do. Don't treat me like I'm Cody. I'm better than that. I'm better than that.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? Glock 9mm wing, R9mm wing.
Hey, I have to think about who I was talking shit about at first. I was like, wait a minute. Wait, what are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing?
Yeah, what are we talking about?
We need peace.
Exactly. There you go.
We need peace. We'll pop the glove compartment real quick. Like, wait a minute. Let's rethink this. Like, pull back a little bit.
So
usually I just go.
Exactly. So yeah. Speaking, I'm gonna ask you like some of your favorites a little bit. Favorite factions. Since we're factions.
Oh man, I'm gonna just blurt them out in no real order until I stop. Evolution.
Mm-hmm.
The late '90s version of the Four Horsemen. We don't have to name all the names. We know who was in that faction. Of course, the first version of the black and white NWO before like there was member number 9 and 10 and shit and there and all that. The original version of.
Sorry about that. Yeah, we were just on the road just now. Yeah, we was on the road just now. Apparently, he's gonna be coming back up, ladies and gentlemen. And we'll continue that. We'll continue it. But yeah, like for me, as far as like in no particular order, I will go with the New Day, the Bloodline, the Shield, DX, the Horsemen, of course, since they're the originators, the pioneers. You know what I mean? So like as far as that, the NWO, of course. Before they had members, even number 7 or 8 at this point. You know what I mean? So, like I said, I'm go ahead and see, what's good with my guests right here. Yes, like I said, sorry for the some of the technical difficulties that they're taking place on his end right now. But yeah, so as far as eventually he's gonna join back, reconnect shortly. As far as, and this has been a great conversation, by the way. Like I said, better than I thought it would be. Okay, since we're on moves, what's y'all smart psychology on what's the best spear of all time? At this point, for me, I would say that at first it was Goldberg, as much as I didn't want to admit it. But now I would say that Braun Breaker has eclipsed him when it comes to spears. And I would say that that Roman's spear is as elevated as well. I say Braun Breaker, Roman, then Goldberg. If I had to pick top 3 as far like the best spear of all time. So when my man is ready to come back on. See if you're gonna send me a message or something. I know that his connection has been a little sketchy as of right now. Let's see if I can go ahead and send another invite. Yeah, so you know what I mean. So as far as that, yeah, there you go. Exactly. You know what I mean. So that was definitely a great list, wasn't it? So yeah, so of course, as far as like the as far as like just to kill time, as far as like the Randy Orton and John Cena of it all. I would say this is definitely a great finale, a great send off for when it comes to their rivalry. And the way it ended definitely plays into um, John Cena's like his heel character, his heel storyline, and just a matter of it's just sorry about that. That was me again. Just a matter of when he's gonna end up going back to turning babyface, and who his next opponent is going to be. Only time will tell. So names have come up like CM Punk, Braun Breaker, Roman, Cody, and so apparently it's already been confirmed that that Cena's last match is going to be in Boston. And what better way for him to put the exclamation point on an iconic career than than to take place in Boston. And so I'm gonna see what my guess is right now. Person link. Let's see what's going on right now. Of course, like I said, my apologies. We have technical issues, glitches that sometimes take place. You know what I mean? So I know you're trying to have a man hemmed up in the background, but of course that ain't gonna stop nothing. Still gonna do this podcast. So as far as that. I know this conversation has absolutely been on fire as of late. Come on now, what are we doing? It's a little bit of a lag on my end, but all right. So all right, it's Mac Rollins. All right, so I think that's him.
Yeah, I had to come from the architect side, man. The Ministry of Darkness said if I don't name them, the next time it ain't gonna be so good.
Oh man, go ahead.
Ministry of Darkness, man. I'm sorry, my fault. Y'all didn't have to come and abduct me real quick. They took my glasses and shit. Like, let me get it together, man. Like, Jesus Christ. The Ministry of Darkness, okay? While I'm there, the Dungeon of Doom and the Brood, okay? Y'all can leave me alone too. I got y'all.
Wow, they getting you hemmed up all night over here,
man.
Yeah, but yeah, also wanted to bring up. So what'd you think about the Cena versus Orton, final chapter?
I loved it. I loved it so much that I hope it's not the final chapter. WWE is good for lying to you, so I hope they lying. I really hope they lying. I was able to of course we were doing a watch along, but usually during watch alongs I'm doing so many other things to where I can't focus on the actual match. I watched the match. You can watch our watch along. You can see how much we actually enjoyed Backlash for what it was, just for the connections that we had to it. But the match itself, I didn't care that it started off with a rest hold and then another rest hold or whatever. Look at what's happening right here. It's John Cena and is Randy Orton. They fit to get they spots on. They fit to get their wrestle on the way that they always do, how they do. And they showed me new things that they've never done. That was so interesting, like how the AA turned into a RKO and they both took each other's finisher at the same time. That was a wild spot. And that's just to say the very least of just things that just were different. Was Randy Orton's AAs perfect? Hell no. Were they supposed to be? I guess not. It was the point that he was doing his spot. You know what I'm saying? Which made it that enjoyable. But he could have got some more air on there to make the table, actually break the first one, and then make the second one look a little bit more interesting. But whatever, he did it. It was never going to be 100% perfect or like we all used to say, better than the greatest match ever, because what match isn't greater than that one?
Come on now.
But yeah, it was lovely, man. Just being able to call all the spots, all the referee bumps. I love it when the ref is working to the match, and you get different stories for certain referees in the indie scene to where it's just the ref is really doing a lot in this match. I love it. That ref was bumping. That ref was bumping around, and the second ref was bumping around. It was lovely. And then RKO, Randy Orton crashing out, having an RKO party against anybody and everybody, like just letting loose. Like it was so enjoyable, so enjoyable. Even with it ending the way that it did. What do you expect? The Hill is gonna do what the Hill is supposed to do in order to retain. You know what I'm saying? And then the whole little cut my music off because I don't need that either. Like keep doing it, keep doing it, John. Keep doing it. Keep
Uh,
ruining wrestling, baby. I love it. I love it.
man, my man's running wrestling to the ground, and so and of course, I like how it was definitely a send off, or at least allegedly. But the thing is, if you notice, I don't know if you I don't know if you heard about this fact, like including Backlash, Randy Orton has RKO John Cena over 40 times.
Oh man. Oh
Yeah,
man. And I would believe it. I would
yeah.
believe it very easily. Very easily. Since the
Oh,
since the RKO's inception in like what was that? 2004? Maybe
mhm.
2004 was when he yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
like
yeah. Like early,
2003.
late 2003 maybe after he
Mhm.
was done doing the overdrive and he changed from them hot blue Spanx into his little draws or whatever pause. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
so yes, like ever since that time, ever since he was the skinny Randy Orton looked like an NSYNC member.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
loved him. I was always a fan.
Oh yeah, me too. Boy band Randy Orton was an absolute savage.
Gre-
Um,
Greater than his dad by his debut. What
oh
was his daddy really known for? I mean, we heard John say it, and that's not what I knew him for, but whatever, that's bad enough.
yeah,
I just know him as the man with the cast that always cheated for Piper.
exactly. How about that? How about that? Yeah, there you go. And by the way, who are your favorite heels? Since we mentioned a heel, since we mentioned
Oh
Piper.
man, Jesus Christ, I could go on forever. Like there's just so many. Um, I don't know. Name a show and or a company, and I'll start there. Like,
Let's say WWF.
so we talking like the golden era or the attitude era?
Either one.
All right. Well, I love Macho Man. I always thought that he was a heel even when he was a face because that man's crazy.
Yeah.
You can never really trust him, and even when he was a heel, he was talking to Elizabeth like he was crazy. So it was always enjoyable.
Yeah.
Um, Um, let's see. I like interesting heels that weren't like main event scene. Like, you had the model Rick Martel. I was into that. Um, if you had face paint, then I was easily into you. You know what I'm saying? That was like the last little edge of me being a face fan. I was a fan of the Texas Tornado.
Yeah.
Uh, you know what I'm saying? Redacted Warrior and everything, and it was just interesting. But around that time. I understood what a heel was, but I just didn't like redacted red and yellow. Like I hated him the most. So anybody that was opposing him, I was like, I'm gonna go for that guy. Like
Yeah.
Abdullah the Butcher scares the living shit out of me, but
Oh,
he's one wrestler that I've always respected and things like that because he got his character over well. Whatever it is that he does, it terrifies me to even watch it at this age of my life. Um, let's see. Paul Orndorff used to catch my eye. You know what I'm saying, with his whole stick and everything, and of course, Ravishing Rick Rude. Um, Great Muda during his heel runs. Ric Flair maybe a little bit here and there, but not a whole lot. Um, let's see. Go in there. Yeah. Then as you start to transition, you get into the attitude era. It was always Shawn Michaels, even from the Rockers. Well, after he super kicked Marty, it was over from there. You know what I'm saying? That was the best version of Shawn Michaels out there ever was. WrestleMania Shawn Michaels comes second, and I'm talking about once he got around the Undertaker and whatnot, that version of him. But whatever version, Shawn Michaels always goated. But I just like the Heartbreak Kid, the Inception, the most. You know what I'm saying? The gear was fire. The athleticism was fire. The character was fire. The look was fire. The mood set was fire. The entertainment. It was just all around, just man, goated. Narcissus version of Lex Luger. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, Razor Ramon. Not so much Diesel, but whatever. Nothing wrong with him. Just wasn't always my flavor. I mean, I liked him eventually when he was Wolfpack, but that's much later. Um, Undertaker. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, Rock, Stone Cold. I mean, those go without mention. Uh, I was more of a Owen fan than a Brett fan. Brian Pillman, of course. Oh God, Brian Pillman. I love that guy. Um, yeah, it's just like it's just I could go on forever. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. Like I love people for different things. Even like after you've been a good heel and you become a face, I can't turn my back on you then because I know you do great work. You know what I'm saying? That being Roman Reigns, because when he was the first version of a face, I couldn't stand him. After they broke the shit up, I couldn't stand him. Couldn't stand him. But then he came back with this tribal chief shit, and I said, I love you now. That you can do no wrong.
Yeah.
You do no wrong. You put in a lot of work. I can respect it, and it works. It goes over well. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Jacob Fatu. What's happening, Oos? You know what I'm saying? He killing shit now. You know what I'm saying? It was good to see him come up on the indies and everything and then rise to the prominence where he is now. Like, I've never felt more proud of a single wrestler than I do of him just because of the connection that, you know what I'm saying, we were able to create out here in LA and everything. So it's dope seeing people that you've had conversations with on the screen doing well. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, man, this a different type of feeling outside of being like a regular wrestling fan, never knowing if you would ever know this person or meet this person and then, you know what I'm saying, grow up into it. Who else is killing shit in the heel spectrum? I mean, if we go over to the other company, AEW, not to say that I'm done with WWE, but you got MJF, who I believe is one of the greatest heels that they'll ever have, for the simple fact that he's not in the main event scene. Not to say that the people that are there don't deserve to be, but yeah, he's a valuable talent. You know what I'm saying? Go to the WWE. But let's see, like I know it's really hard to like tell who's actually hit that are like good over in AEW because a lot of people blur the lines over there so much to where it's kind of confusing on what's being done all the way.
Jericho.
Drew, Drew McIntyre, he's always right. Drew McIntyre is always right. So there's that. Braun Breaker, obviously. Bronson Reed, whenever he gets back, they finally did something right with him. So now he's interesting, which great because he's a big boy. The big boy. Let's see. Who else? Who else? Hmm. I could rail him off. I mean, I don't mind Seth. His fashion choices make me question my like for him a lot of times, but you know, I could take it. I worked in that industry before. It just doesn't stop being uncomfortable though. But yeah, pretty much almost anybody that. Oh man, how about we talk about a heel that I don't like? Jesus Christ, Grayson Waller. That guy sucks.
Oh,
Eat shit, dude.
he sucks.
Eat shit. Like he's the type of heel that's just like you grate me. And kudos to you because you're doing your job. Like ugh. You're not
Yeah,
my type. You ain't
he's
my heel.
he's definitely not. He's absolutely not. And for him and Austin Theory have not broken up yet. I don't know what
It's
what's going.
coming. It's
It's
taking
coming.
forever. It's
It's
taking
coming.
forever, but it's finally coming.
But but Austin Theory gotta get that stain off from him. I mean, he gotta scratch that, get that itch
Should
off.
have never got it on. Should have
He
never
never
got it
should
put
never
on.
got it on. Should never got it on him. You know what I mean? And
Never got it on.
absolutely. You know what I mean? And so like if you're talking about heels for me, I would say, like I said, if you're talking about like, classic heels, I go with Piper, Flair,
Yeah.
Savage. I mean, those some of the main ones. Then of course you want to talk about like OG Shawn Michaels.
Mm-hmm.
Then you go down to to a corporate rock, even Hollywood Rock.
Hollywood Rock was so good. Hollywood Rock was so good. That 03 run was just like, oh, come on, Rock. Come on, man. You doing it. You doing it.
Even without a title, he was still that dude.
Man,
like,
the concert.
Yeah, so I'm saying, like I said, Hollywood Rock. I would go with who else? I would go with JBL. You know what I mean? He was.
Oh man, now the one GOAT run was all JBL needed.
That's all
to solidify his career. Boy, was it a good one. It was edgy. It was edgy for sure, but I loved it. I loved every bit of it.
It was. I loved it. And
I loved every bit of it.
That, and then also I would say Edge, rated R Edge, of course.
Yeah. Everything about that.
2009 Reptile Randy Orton.
Oh yeah. I mentioned that in the song. Oh yeah. 09 Randy was not to be messed with.
Not to be messed with at all. Then I would go. Then fast forward to now, of course, Tribal Chief Roman Reigns. By far, this
Mhm.
a run that saved this dude's career. It saved
Save
his
the
life.
company too.
Yeah, it saved the company too. Like you want to talk about somebody's trajectory changing in a way I've never seen before. That Tribal Chief Roman Reigns is right up there. You know what I mean? And so I mean that just did miracles for him.
He changed a lot of people's trajectory. That's more than what
Yeah,
anybody's greatest run has ever done.
Jey Uso, of course, greatly benefited from that. You look at the rest of his family. You look at Sami Zayn. You look at countless other people that have been connected to Roman in a match.
Mhm.
Anything like that. So he's done. Anybody who's worked with
Seth,
him,
Punk.
Seth, Punk. You know what I mean? Like Drew McIntyre. Anybody. Drew had the greatest match of his career at Clash of the Castle against Roman. So you know what I mean. So as far as that, I mean, Roman is somebody. Shoot, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. As we start to wind down a little bit.
Go ahead and show it.
Yeah. So like I said, Roman. I came up with a top 50 wrestlers list. I did it over. I've elevated.
Ooh, that's tough. That's
Yeah,
tough. I don't know how you did it.
it is. It was.
I would never even try.
Hey man,
Couldn't do it.
you gotta have a certain level of just almost psychotic.
I would always forget people, and it would keep changing every day. Every time I remember somebody, it'll change.
Yeah. Certain people I've changed, for certain reasons, or somebody who was redacted, I had to get them out of there. And had to kind of sanitize a little bit. It was the guy that won the championship at WrestleMania 20 and made Triple H tap out. I had to, kind of
I mean,
cut the cord with that.
great work.
Great
Great
work.
work.
Great work.
Great work.
Tremendous work. But it's just like, it's other things that go into it as well.
Yeah.
That's another story. It's neither here nor there. But the point is, I put Roman in my top 10.
Mm-hmm.
So because the
That's
thing is,
easy to do.
yeah, very much. Because when you look at the trajectory of his career, you look at his title run, you look at the numbers that he's put up and everything like that, his entire body of work is enough to put him in the top 10. You know what I mean? So I know Sports Illustrated put him there, and I've seen, I think other publications, somebody else has done it, but I know I was like, you know what? I can't keep him out that much longer. It's
Yeah.
just like,
His big dog run wasn't enough to kill his whole career. It got close. It got close, but it didn't do it all the way.
It nearly did. It nearly did.
It beat it up. It beat it up real bad. It left it out to die. It was almost Puerto Rican famous, but you know what I'm saying? They found it before he was old.
Go ahead.
He was under a mattress starting to rot. It was like, go get. We smell something fresh. Let's go get him.
Exactly. So yeah, like I said, Rome. So I'm just going to narrow down to the top 10 in no particular order. If you, I don't care. I might as well put it in order. So as far as the top 10 includes Sting.
Really? What version?
I just say the whole body of work. To be honest with you.
Okay. Okay, I'll take that.
Yeah, the collective body of work.
Okay.
Whether we want to admit it or not, we'll just for his accomplishments, redacted red and yellow, only for that. But I don't have him that high. I don't have him that high. I don't have him that high.
It's understandable.
Yeah,
from a business standpoint. And I know a lot of people say you could have did that with anybody. Could you have? He was the only one that wanted to work that type of schedule then, because you know what I'm saying, he was a kiss ass. And he's like, oh man, that's what it takes for me to have the top spot and nobody else wants to work these days, even though they want the money. Sure, I'll do it.
There you go.
That's what turned him into a liar. I've wrestled 6 times in 24 hours in 4 different countries. You figure it out. No, we're not doing that. We're not even going to think about that because you're lying. You're lying.
400 days a year, as he said, right?
Yeah, you're lying. You're lying. Sometimes 5 in a calendar year. How you get 2 days at once when you travel? No, shut up. Shut up.
dude. Shut up.
It's
Man,
the same thing.
talking about, he tried out for Metallica, but they turned him down. Like whatever, that type of stuff. Like, come on.
But it's like, I know you used to play the guitar, but again, shut up. Shut up.
Dude.
Why are you lying? Why are you always lying? Why are you lying so much? Why? What purpose does it serve? I don't get it. It angers me sometimes. I'll just be like, dude, just fess up. It's okay to fess up to shit, but you want to lie and make shit worse. Like, oh yeah, don't get me started.
Yeah, I like that's another story right there. You know what I mean?
Don't get me started.
But yeah, like I said, I got Sting, I got him, I got of course, for the sake of psychology and technical wrestling purposes and things like that, and what he means to Canada, Brett. You know what I mean? So my personal
USA heel Brett and face Canada Brett. That was the greatest shit.
Oh, by far. Like the thing is, I like when I look at Brett, I'm not even looking at WCW. I'm talking about his main WWF.
Overall, yeah.
WWF overall. So
Transcendent.
That's what GOAT is. Of course, I got Shawn Michaels. You can't talk about a top 10 without him. He is Mr. WrestleMania. Of course, you have like I said, his legacy, his influence, both him and Brett, they speak for themselves. They're pretty much the Bird and Magic of wrestling. Somebody else made a comparison. They had Brett as Bird and Shawn as Magic. I could see that for that purpose. So then I also have the Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns.
Mm-hmm.
So just in terms of what he's done with the Shield, the Bloodline, and his own career, body work. Of course, you have the Unseen 17, John Cena. What else? Nature Boy Ric Flair, of course. The predecessor, original. Undertaker, the WrestleMania Phenom.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You mean Mark. You know what I'm
saying? I know, right? I like that's the part.
Skyscraper. Don't get me started.
OG.
Paul had him then too. You know what I'm saying?
Talk about a real OG Paul Heyman guy.
Man, come stop playing. Paul had him. For a very long time.
Paul had them all. And of course, the next ones, they're 1A and 1B. They're arguing semantics at this point. Rock and Austin.
Mm-hmm.
Another OG Austin, another OG Paul Heyman guy. You know what I mean?
It's crazy that you can't mention them without each other, but they are two vastly different characters that did two vastly different things at two vastly different times. And people always want to look at them as a side by side when really it was a transition of the arms.
Yeah.
Just because of where they were at in their careers, as Stone Cold was passing the torch to The Rock, regardless of how long The Rock held it for. But it's funny how people always try to compare them. And I try not to have the conversation because people don't get it, but I'm like, you can't. They're not similar in any type of way. But since they were synonymous in name at one good portion of time, because even when they were synonymous in name, they barely seen each other. You know what I'm saying? Because of the time away that they spent from the company at the times that they were hot at different times, So it's like, come on, y'all. Like, come on. Let's do better. But whatever.
I mean, the Rock's most lucrative, rivalry has been with Austin because of those three WrestleMania matches. The trilogy.
Yeah.
Of course, look at the, what they did during the Attitude Era in terms of the ratings, in terms of the storylines and stuff like that. So that's why.
Which the last one was great too, because who was expecting a Stone Cold turn? Come on now.
Yeah, exactly. And by the way, that's on 2K24 as well. I was looking forward to that match. I said, "Come on, let's go. Let's go. I'm ready for it. Just like I was with Shawn versus Taker at 25. I said, "All right, come on." Like certain matches, I was like, "Look, I can't wait."
That's all time great. That might be top 3. That might be top 3. And it's hard. It's kind of hard to do that, but damn it, that match was great. It was better than the second one. That first one was good. Everything was perfect. Even the mistake was perfect.
It went along with everything else. It's just like
just
swept it like
it worked. It worked
together. You know what I mean? So like it's like Infinity War, and the second one was Endgame.
Mm-hmm.
Let's put it that. You know what I mean? So we
Then
both
you had the trilogy with Triple H or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So we finally had to end it that way, which
exactly.
included Shawn Michaels, even more
So
story.
that was the end of their story arc right there.
This might be another hot take that you ain't never heard nowhere else.
Let's go for it.
But I've removed Shawn Michaels from being Mr. WrestleMania.
Who are you replacing him with?
I got to replace him with The Undertaker. It's only fair.
Yeah. Let me put it this way. Undertaker's a WrestleMania phenom. He's the king of WrestleMania. He's the king of WrestleMania for real. When you talk about that streak, when you talk about his being an attraction when it comes to who's synonymous with WrestleMania, Undertaker's that guy.
So here's where I got Shawn going, because everybody like, you just gonna put Shawn on the sideline? Nah, I can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Randy Orton is Mr. Survivor Series. Brock Lesnar, in my eyes, is Mr. SummerSlam, even though John Cena kind of rivals that, but it is what it is. But Shawn Michaels is Mr. In Your House for me.
Ooh, yeah.
Tell me that don't make sense.
Makes perfect sense.
Tell me that don't make and it fits the nature of who Shawn Michaels is. Like, and he was always delivering great matches, great shows. He had the entrance, you feel me, at the In Your House, the same that he had at WrestleMania. Stop playing. Like, that's Mr. In Your House right there. You know what I'm saying? In Your House every week. The workhorse as his Intercontinental title run, and then as the championship, heavyweight championship that you got in the background right there, you know what I'm saying, was killing in that run before he broke his back. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's GOAT era Shawn Michaels right there. You can't say nothing bad about that Shawn Michaels. Like, that Shawn Michaels was it. He was
that's
it.
What I'm saying. Yeah, that's why do you think I'm wearing this shirt? Or even on 2K24, the Shawn Michaels that picked the most is WrestleMania 10 Shawn Michaels.
Because you get the trunks, he had to go to trunks. Like, he had to go to vest.
That's
you know what I'm saying? He had to go to earrings. Like, stop playing. Like, he was one of the first cool heels. Like, man, what?
The presentation. You had the red with the zebra stripes. You had the ghost sunglasses. You had the mullet. Everything. I was like, yeah.
He had the aura. Had the aura before we knew what the hell aura was.
Aura was absolutely. Ain't the first image that I think about of Shawn Michaels is that one. Straight up. You know what I mean? And this is pre-WWF champion Shawn Michaels.
Yeah. This was just getting started. It's Playboy Shawn. It's sexy boy Tom.
This is Jordan wearing the threes.
Man, what? Stop playing. Stop playing. He in the bag. He in the bag.
Man, so the thing is, like, by the time you get to WWF Shawn, that's first three-peat Jordan. 93 to 98. 93 to 98 Shawn is Jordan from 87 to 93 before baseball.
Now I call that Shawn Wizards Jordan, because that's how bad he was.
Man.
Not by his choice, but he wasn't doing nothing. So he was Wizards Jordan. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So like as far as, like, I guess like Shawn afterwards. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
he was like second round Jordan. When Jordan came back the second time for the second three-peat. That's where he was. And when he came back at SummerSlam against Triple H, and then won the world title at Survivor Series, that's Jordan's second run. Because after that, then it was just like, ooh, you just playing now.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? It's like it's that dude's unparalleled, man. And of course, like one last thing I wanted to say. Let's do a little name association before we break, before you log off. So I'm gonna give a few names. You can give at least one word or whatever it is that you want to associate with them.
One by one.
Yes. Stone Cold.
Hellraiser.
All right, now. The Rock.
Man, entertainer.
Shawn Michaels.
Oh shit, athletic. Army. He get 2.
Showstopper.
Man, 3. Stop playing. I didn't want to go generic, so but yeah, just man, stop playing. We just put him on the pedestal.
Yeah, exactly. Pedestal, plain and simple. Undertaker.
Oh man, amazing. How you make a
Absolutely.
gimmick like that work for so long? A fucking amazing, amazing. You are a goat. Amazing,
All right.
amazing.
Roman.
Oh, transcending. Like Jesus Christ, he did it. He did it. He changed. He changed the business. Very few do that. Very few do that, and he's one of the very few that we can be proud of.
All right. So I'm gonna throw a couple other names out there. Cena.
Oh man, the greatest of all time. I'm so happy that I can say it now because it feels so
Unseen.
good. It feels
Unseen.
so good. It's been trapped inside me for so long that I never wanted to let it out because it just I wasn't gonna do it. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do
Mhm.
it, but now I can. Such a
All right.
joy. The
All right.
goat.
The GOAT. That's right. CM Punk.
Oh man. Oh. I would say this, but this is this is not my word. I'm gonna take it back. Larry. Um.
Oh, oh man,
Oh man, microphone, like pipe bomb, like
man.
Jesus Christ. He can take
Yeah,
it there when it's time to. No
yeah,
efforts, no
yeah,
efforts.
yeah. For me, I say disruptor because
Con-
because it was
Controversial,
controversial. You know what I mean? Like whatever name you want to associate with Piper, that's pretty much Punk right there.
man.
You know, yeah. So with Punk, I definitely say disruptor. You know, because he disrupted the flow with that pipe bomb, and then won the title the way he did. And just turn things upside down. All right, so I said Cena, I said Punk. Uh, let's go one more. Triple H.
Oh man. Um. Ooh. Ooh. So many. Um. Opportunists.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Take that however you want to. Take that however you want to. There are many different avenues that you could drive down on that street.
Yeah.
Yeah. Opportunists. Opportunists.
Shoot.
Um, that has good and it has bad. Take what
Mm,
you want from it, but the man needs recognition. So yeah,
shoot,
yeah.
man. Plain and simple. You know what I mean? Like that. Yeah,
I
those
like
are
I
the
like how wide that is because it covers so much, so you can't really pinpoint what I mean. You know what I'm saying? But if you get it, if you get it, then you get it in every way that is meant to be understood. So yeah,
yeah.
psychology, smart
There you go.
psychology.
Psychology. That's what it is. And on that note, so yeah, so of course, Alex, MacMilli, where can they find you on the socials?
Oh man, we stepping it up. You know what I'm saying? As we getting ready to celebrate year 3 this coming summer of Smart Psychology Podcast. You can find us on YouTube at Smart Psychology Podcast. You can find us on Instagram at Smart Psychology, I believe. On Twitter, Smart Psych Pod. Man, find me personally on Instagram at King MacMilli, on Twitter at Sir Mac. You know what I'm saying? Wherever you listen to music at, type in Sir Mac and 86 and enjoy everything that it comes with. And there's more coming as we drop or I'm dropping an album every month this year. So I'm 5 in, 7 more to go. Man, I'm about to have some fun, man. It's been going real good, real good. There's a lot of good music out there, so tap into that. Where else? Just yes, the BWO. You know what I'm saying? BWO promo division on YouTube. Catch me there. Catch me sometimes on Venom and Smoke podcast. Shout outs to the fam. Look them up on YouTube. Now you can catch me here on Venomous. You know what I'm saying? Victorious. Find me here. You know, we're just spreading it across everywhere. You know what I'm saying? The love. If you in NAW, you know what I'm saying? The Facebook page on you on Facebook, then join there. We everywhere. We in the community. Shout outs to Jobber Tears, you know what I'm saying? Shout outs to the homies over at PE3 or Public Enemy straight up, you know what I'm saying? Shout out
Right.
to Reality Art Wrestling, PCW Ultra, you know what I'm saying? If I'm forgetting, you charge it to my mind and not my heart, you know what I'm saying? Because you always there from the beginning and the start to the very end, which there never is. Smart Psychology Podcast, man. Tap in. We do a lot of good things. What we do is we do wrestler interviews, we do show reviews, we have competitions, fun games, and we just tell jokes and lighten up the mood in this wrestling community. You know what I'm saying? While we review shows, make it easy and entertaining. Storylines, they popping off, going crazy. We on a break right now, but we will be having a watch along for Saturday night main event, and then also maybe Battleground, and then Money in the Bank and Worlds Collide is going to be out here in LA. So we're going to go ahead and attend that, and we're going to start season 6 the Monday after that. So get ready for a fun ride. We upgrading things all around, and it's going to be fun, man. It's going to be real fun. Now, we got to have you come over to the Smarks side, you know what I'm saying, so we can have some fun our style. You know what I'm saying? It's a little crazy. But we have fun. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's all about.
Look, man, let's I'm gonna say it like this. As Prince said, let's go crazy, right? The thing is, like, the thing about it is that I look, man, I'm used to it. I'm used to being around podcasts that are kind of like pretty much off the cuff, just like we mentioned, Jobber Tears, Public Enemies, Black Last One. You know what I mean? So like, another one, shout out, they've been on here before. Jobber Tears been on here before. I'm looking to get P3. I've been on theirs before too. But yeah, you know what I mean? So as far as that, hey, look, this is what it's all about, to have intelligent conversations, but at the same time have a sense of humor to lighten the mood, because out here, the way this world is,
too many of y'all out there stressed out over nothing.
Over absolutely nothing, man. You know what I mean? So it ain't even that serious. It ain't even worth it, man. You know what I mean? So like, that's what it is, about lightening the mood, and I'm all about humor. I'm all about having a great time. So of course, like I said, of course, I'd like to thank you very much. I appreciate you, being on the podcast, the way we connected at WrestleMania, standing room only, by the way. I was over in that section.
Man.
Yeah, because
I was walking around the stadium at that point,
Yeah.
Connecting with people, saying who I saw.
Man, I was getting interviewed left and right over there.
Man. That was a hot spot right there. That was a hot spot.
Oh, you better believe it. Shout out to the Las Vegas. Shout out to Allegiant Stadium.
I mean, not full shout outs, because they gave me problems night 2 on getting in. They tried to keep me out for at least 2 hours between them, Ticketmaster, Vivid Seats, all them together. They was working in cahoots, man. They was trying to not let me up in that joint. But I got up in there right as the opening bell was going off for night 2. But man, they 2.5 hours, they kept your boy on the outside. I was like, y'all not gonna do this. I missed the opportunity to tap in with O'Shea, because he was right there or whatever, because I was like right by the VIP entrance or whatever. So everybody was falling in right there, and I was on the phone with Ticketmaster and all these other places trying to get my tickets situated, because everybody else can't find them and shit. And I'm like, I done paid for them. Y'all find them. So I missed out on the opportunity to connect with a lot of people, Kev on stage, a few other people that I'll just keep tucked or whatever. But I was just like, damn, man. But it's all good, because the wrestling community, just like football, brings so many different people together, and it makes it that much more enjoyable when you approach it and you're not like a Mark or a Smarky Mark or a Mark, where your energy is just obnoxious and you're intolerable. And you think you know everything, but you really fucking don't. But you press forward like you fucking do, and then you stink on top of that. It's just not a good look for you, dude. Just not a good look for you. You make wrestlers uncomfortable. Where they're normal people just like us. So think about what makes you uncomfortable, and then don't do that times 10, because because that's just what it is in this community. You know what I'm saying? We here to be the difference, to be the change, and let them know that it's okay to get in touch and be okay with some of these podcasts that's out here, because we ain't got the same narratives of being sucked into what the negativity is in the IWC and becoming it. You know what I'm saying? And when we do speak about it, we always give some type of good quality along with the words and everything. You know what I'm saying? So that make sure that you understand what it is that's being understood and everything. We foretell things, and then we explain things that have been told. That's what psychology is all about. There's many different levels of it, and then we enjoy music. We enjoy we partake in the smoke, if you know what that means. You know what I'm saying? And we just have a good time. So catch us at a show if you're gonna be in LA, and if it's something big, ask for us. You know what I'm saying? See if we're gonna be there. hop in the Instagram, that DMs, they wide open, but don't be afraid of what may come at you afterwards. You know what I'm saying? But subscribe on YouTube, man. We going up, man. It's nothing about having fun, man. That's all. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, man. So, like I said, you heard it from him on that note. Once again, Alex, MacMilli, I appreciate you, being a guest.
Indeed. This ain't the first. Well, it's the first time, but this ain't the last time. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna get it every time that there is time, and it's gonna be a time.
Come on now. Salute once again, man. Thank you. Like I said, thank you very much.
Man, indeed. Crowns up to you, my royal.
All right, man. Absolutely, man. All right,
man. Y'all see what it is.
Yeah,
this one actually is signed by Booker T. He signed it twice for me. You know what I'm saying? Man. Cool dude. Super cool dude or whatever. And Montez shouted out this one because it's the one that he be wearing and everything. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, these two are actually special. You feel me? So,
yeah. That's amazing. So, yeah. So, like I said, this is the first time, but it ain't the last time. So, thank you very much, for being on.
Indeed.
So, yeah, man, have an amazing night, man. Have a great night.
Same to you, y'all. Stand up. Yes, sir. We in here.
All right, then. We in here. Later on, man.
Yeah.
All right, then. All right. So, of course, I want to thank my man King MacMilli for being a guest. On this week's podcast. And so, of course, before I go, I like to give be a man of my word and give out these good old birthday shout outs, of course. On May 12th, skateboard legend Tony Hawk turned 57. On May 13th, music icon Stevie Wonder turned 75. NBA Hall of Famer and legend Dennis Rodman turned 64. Of course, on May 15th, Emmitt Smith, Cowboys legend, all-time leading rusher, turned 57. On May 15th, Ray Lewis turns 50. On that same day, Kevin Von Erich turns 67. Of course, Kevin Von Erich actually turned 68. Excuse me. He turned 68. First Lady Trina Jenkins of First Baptist Church of Glenarden turned 65. Of course, on that same day, Ron Simmons turned 67. May 16th, Janet Jackson turns 59. On May 17th, Sugar Ray Leonard turns 69. May 18th, Reggie Jackson, baseball legend, turns 79. On May 19th, that's on May 18th. On May 19th, Malcolm X would have turned 100. Andre the Giant would turn 79. Kevin Garnett turns 49. And Grace Jones turns 77. And that is it when it comes to when it comes to the birthdays. And so, of course, before I go, I would like to give another word of wisdom of myself, is that whatever it is that God has called you to do, make sure, of course, pursue it with all that you have within you. When God gives you a word to pursue, act on it. You know what I mean? And of course, when that happens, that's when, of course, it's more about us seeking Him, and He's a rewarder of those who diligently seek Him. So, of course, pursue and look for the reward. So that's my words of wisdom. And of course, you're victorious because greater is He that is in you than he that is in the world. When you put God in first place, you don't have to worry about being in last place. Please make sure to listen to this podcast on iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts, or anywhere else that you download podcasts. Of course, we're also on YouTube, youtube.com/@Von Jr. Of course, once again, I'd like to thank my guest MacMilli for being on. So of course, thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for listening. And remember, let this day be the very best day of your life.